Hi, my name is Damian Goddard, and I'm a spokesman for the Marriage Anti-Defamation Alliance. When a state changes the centuries-old definition of marriage and lawmakers tell you it won't hurt anyone, tell them to talk to the O'Reillys. Jim and Mary O'Reilly, the owners of the Wildflower Inn, a bed and breakfast in Lyndonville, Vermont, were sued by a lesbian couple who wanted to hold their same-sex marriage wedding reception on their property where they and their family also live. Here's their story.
I was afraid of being accosted by people who were angry because there were a lot of angry new emails coming in. I actually prayed when I had to go to the store that I would be invisible. Jim and I went to college at the same school.
I graduated, and then a couple months later I went into the Peace Corps.
I actually went over after a year and visited Jim when he was in between assignments, and then got married a year after that. My father actually wanted to buy a property here, and we thought we could do that. We could be innkeepers.
Then we opened the inn in '85. Back in 2000, the state of Vermont passed a civil unions law. We had to think about how was it going to affect us at the end. We received an inquiry from a lesbian couple. I just explained to them that, I'm a strong Catholic. It would be going against what we believe in. They ended up filing a complaint with the Vermont Human Rights Commission. So in 2005, our policy of disclosure of who we are and what we stand for was upheld. In 2009, Vermont passed legislation that made same-sex marriage legal. November 2010, we had a inquiry. It was an email inquiry. This mother was coordinating a wedding for a same-sex couple. Our wedding coordinator then sent out an email immediately to this mother, and that we do not host same-sex receptions at the inn, but she had offered her services to host. The coordinator had never come in to discuss this with me. April of 2011, our wedding coordinator called me up in a bit of a panic and said she needed to come in and talk to me. And when she came in, she had said that she had just been called by the ACLU. She immediately resigned, and then we didn't hear anything until July 19th of 2011. On July 19th, I went into work early, as I usually do, and opened up my email to check it. And I saw that we had a Google alert come through, which it was a link to a video by the ACLU saying that this couple was suing the Wildflower Inn for discrimination.
We were just so stunned by the news that we didn't know what to think.
We probably had 200 hate emails by noon that day. I mean, it was attacking us as a business, but also as individuals. We had some who left. We had guests who started calling immediately and canceling for their stays.
Everything that came out in the news was coming from ACLU. But I was afraid to go out. I was afraid to go to the store. I was afraid of being accosted by people who were angry.
They've decided that we're bad people.
Our daughter was in high school, and she probably suffered the most because a lot of kids would be ridiculing her, calling her names, calling us names for a long time.
We made this offer of settlement, which basically gave them pretty much everything they had been asking for. Instead of accepting that settlement, they declined it, and then they issued more charges against us, which were the charges that our policy of letting people know who we are and what we are and why we are was discriminatory and against the law. It's against our religious rights and our First Amendment rights. Through mediation, one of the things we had to do was pay the Vermont Human Rights Commission $10,000. Back in 2005, the Human Rights Commission found that the policy we were following was legal. I think advice to business owners in states where laws like this have not been enacted yet is they really need to stand up and be heard. They need to understand that they could be putting their business in jeopardy if they're true believers of marriage between one man and one woman.
Help Jim and Mary stay strong by going to marriageada.org and thank them for standing up for marriage. And if God has given you the means to go a little deeper for those who are under attack, please prayerfully consider making a financial contribution to the Marriage Anti-Defamation Alliance. It's as simple as clicking on the donate button on the website. And if you or someone you know is facing threats to their person, property, or livelihood because they speak up for marriage or defend religious liberty, please report it by visiting us at marriageada.org and clicking on the Share Your Story button. Take a stand. Let your voice be heard. Fight for marriage.